Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Everything is going to be okay, sister. Everything is going to be okay. I just came back from going to Starbucks. I had a crazy-ass morning of tantrum with my little guy and boxing. I am, as I record this podcast, I am 5 days away. It's a Monday to record this. My first boxing tournament is on Saturday. The training is kind of coming to an end as of tomorrow night, and then it'll be 3 days of rest as I prepare mentally more and have all along for this tournament. But went to Starbucks. Those of you, by the way, that are going, they're saying to me, hey, where's my journal I ordered? When we went to more journal, which, by the way, you can get yours for free at drkarenosborne.com/free journal. If you don't have yours yet, go fucking get it before I decide this is crazy. The amount of time I'm spending investing in all this stuff and time and dropped off post office. Went to Starbucks, and here's my big story for today with this. I'm very observant and aware of people. I find people very fascinating. I can remember as a kid going to the mall with my parents. I was the youngest, so I'm often the ones kind of get my brothers are older. They're off doing their thing, and I'm hanging out with my parents and, just kind of getting dragged around to places that I didn't want to go to. So my dad and I would be sitting outside as my mom went to some sheet store or something that would just make me want to put a gun to my head as a young child. And we would comment on people. Now, it wasn't a nice thing. This was my dad kind of did this. This is not to take away from the lovely man that my father is, but you sit there and basically cut people down. Not to their face, but, make fun of them or whatever. Not a cool thing. When I look at people now, it doesn't come from that space. I'm just very observant. I think that I know that people teach me a lot of stuff, and I'm also very aware. I'm really intuitive to a lot of things that are happening. And so I see this young girl come in, and she's got, private school, Catholic school kind of, school outfit, right? With the short kind of, plaid skirt and the sweater, all this kind of stuff. And she looks maybe 16. It's hard to tell, man. Phew. Those of you that have daughters, by the way, oh God, I send love to you. Because holy shit, I see these girls develop and look so grown up so quickly. But let's say she was around 16. It's about 10 o'clock on a Monday. She should be in school right now, right? So I don't know. There's something about her. I'm looking at her. I'm not staring. I'm just kind of aware because she's kind of behind me now. She's waiting for a drink and she's looking kind of nervous, right? She's biting her nail. She's kind of she looks like there's something going on in her life. And I had this overwhelming feeling to go up to her and say to her, it's funny because I'm thinking of this as I walked away because I wanted to tell her in Starbucks, but I'm like, you know what? She's young. She's going to get freaked out by this conversation. I could go up to an adult and say this, but it's probably going to freak her out. But what I wanted to do was say to her listen, this is going to sound really weird and you don't know me, but I just want you to know that everything's going to be okay. I had this overwhelming feeling. And I walked out and I was like, oh, I should go back. But I was like, no, you know what? No, because, she's going to be freaked out. And that's not going to help her. So what? So I tell her what I think she's supposed to hear and she doesn't understand it or it scares her and just, But I realized as I was saying that in my head, the conversation I was going to have with her, and I felt like the voice was telling me to speak to her, what I really realized too is that it was something I need to tell myself. There's been a lot of build-up for this boxing tournament. This has been a year of training now. I haven't been training specifically for this tournament for a year, but, I have, right? I decided last fall that I was going to fight, and then this tournament came about, and then my boxing coach wanted to make sure. He's like, I don't know, do you want to get hit in the face? I'm like, no, that's why I'm doing this. And we went back and forth for a little period of time until we had a conversation in, I think it was maybe April or May of this year. And he just some people say they want to, but, he was really testing the waters and he wanted to make sure because, you don't want to invest all this time and have me not be serious and be fully committed. And I just, I looked at him and I just kind of took a step back and I was pissed for a moment. And then I took a breath and I said, I'll show you. And that was it. That was kind of the turning point of, okay, this bitch is serious. Let's do this. So there's been a lot of like, what's it going to be like when I go in there? And sometimes my sparring has been like good, and mostly it's been really difficult sparring. See, like training for a fight is very different. Like when you see, and I've posted stuff up on Facebook. Facebook Live's like, I'm hitting a heavy bag, I'm sparring with Rob, my coach, I'm on the speed bag, I'm doing mitts. Like it can all look really cool, but it's a totally different story now when you now have an opponent in front of you who wants to take you down, right? Even though, yeah, you're wearing a mouth guard and headgear and all this kind of stuff, it's a totally different experience. You now have to take what you've learned and try to translate that into the ring. And so I've had, again, it's from 5 days away now and coming towards the end of our training before I have rest days, and then the tournament is on Saturday in 5 days. Did I say 5 days? 5 days, 5 days, 5 days. It's a crazy ass experience and journey of like emotions, and I got this to like, do I got this to, I'm gonna fucking crush this. I'm getting that gold fucking medal to like, what the fuck was I thinking? What am I, right? It's just a lot of that back and forth, and it's natural. I talked to Rob about this. He's like, yeah, you want to have that little bit of nervousness. Like it's healthy, right? It's a little crazy to go, let me get in the ring and just like hit somebody. And, but I had this wash of that to tell this girl, and then I realized that the bigger piece of that was to tell to myself, everything's going to be okay. And so this message is coming to you today for a reason. What is it, in your life right now where you're like, oh my God, this is happening? Listen, it could be a big thing. I don't mean to like wash this all with like one brush to go, everything's fine, everything's okay. Look at the brights. Like, no. I don't agree with that. I think there's times in life, like there's some horrible shit that's just happened in our world recently. I'm not going to even mention what it is, because you know what? You'll be listening to this 8 months from now and there'll be something else. There will be. That's not to be doom and gloom. That's just to say like there's shit that's going down on our planet right now. And there's this trust. I'm trying to think of the way to describe this to you without having it seem like simplistic or somehow like, like it doesn't matter that these things have happened. Because it does when big things have happened, when people have gotten killed and there's wars and there's, devastation and there's crazy weather shit that's going on. Like these are people's lives and families and homes and businesses, and all these things matter. But on the same breath, the paradox is that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Whatever is going on in your life right now, well, you might not seem like there is an end to what's happening, or there's a solution, or you feel stuck. Everything's going to be okay. When there are times when you don't know how you're going to fix something, or how you're going to get out of something, or how you're going to go from stuck to unstuck, or how you're going to, heal a relationship, or how you're going to heal your body, or how you're going to be a better parent, just everything's going to be okay. Like the calmness and the certainty that can come without you knowing how is possible. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't. You just have to be certain and trust. Now, for some of you, that trust turns into faith. Religion doesn't work for me. If it works for you, like seriously, and this is not passive aggressive, beautiful. It's just not something that works for me in my life. So if it's faith for you, then insert faith. But for me, it's trust. It's trust in the universe. It's not trusting that somebody else is running the show. There can be a piece of that. It's trusting that things are unfolding as they need to for you to be able to see what you need to see, for you to be able to become who you need to become, for you to be able to be aware of the things that you need to be aware of in your life right now. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. So here's your more tip for today. This is a short and sweet episode, but here's your more tip for today. I want you to think of something right now where you feel stuck. It could be something with your health. It could be in your marriage where you feel there's no solution. Something with your children, something with your business, something with family. Where you feel a lot of like uncertainty. Where you feel a lot of like, what the fuck? Where you feel a lot of like, what is going to happen? What am I going to do? And I'm not saying just to say these words or to think these thoughts and suddenly the universe will deliver. That's bullshit. And you know what? Quite honestly, that would be completely irresponsible immoral, stupid of me to say that to you or suggest that. So I'm not suggesting any of that. What I'm suggesting there's times when you are figuring things out, when you were doing the deep work required, when you were figuring out more of who you become, that there's a piece of a letting go, right? There's wanting something, and then there's kind of like, let me just let that go. Let me just surrender right now. Not where you're surrendering or not taking any action, because that's just like woo-woo pie in the sky. Build it, it will come. Field of Dreams is one of my favorite movies of all time with Kevin Costner, but that's not the way the world works. Build it, if you notice from that. It's actually build it and it will come, not just create a vision board and shit will come into your life. Like you need to take action and things will come over time. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a look at your journal, which, by the way, again, let me plug this one more time. This is for you, sister. I created these journals that I'm paying for, special gifts I'm putting inside there. Yes, you pay for shipping, but it certainly doesn't cover all my costs of things by any means. By any means. I pay between around, what did I figure? About I think it was like $12, $15 for each one that I mail out. That includes what you pay me for the shipping, the small amount. Because the small amount doesn't always cover it, depending on what country this is going to, because they're shipping from Canada. But I do this because I know that the power that journaling has to make this happen. So get your free journal, drkarenosborn.com/free journal. And I want you to open up your journal, Women Wanting More Limited Edition journal, or the one you got right now until it comes. And at the top of the page, write this: everything's going to be okay. And simply start writing and see what insights come up for you from this experience, sister. So see, there's different ways to listen to this podcast, right? For some of you, you send me messages and go, wow, the podcast has really had an impact and it's really helped or it's changed my life, and beautiful. Keep those coming. That's not for me ego. That's for me to know that this is having an impact on you. And I appreciate you taking the time and reaching out and sharing that. I truly do. I truly do. Every single one of them I read. Every single one. For the same standpoint, now fucking do something with this. Right? Insight's great. Action is what's going to move you forward, is going to create momentum with the things that you actually want in your life. So, one more thing then before we finish up this episode. If you are not already in the new Facebook group that I created, free Facebook group, again, another free one. How about that? Podcast for free, journal for free, Facebook group for free. Called the Women Wanting More Experience. There are 725 women in the group right now. Here's what you need to do to request to be added to the group. Go up to Facebook, search bar at the top, type in Women Wanting More Experience, request to be added, and I'm throwing up a question in there or a video 2 or 3 times a week, and really helping you gain some more insight on getting clear on the things that you truly want within your life. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.